Well, hello again, folks. Welcome to Flying with Mike, and we are in the Flight Factor 767 300 ER freighter version. We're going to fly another sort of short hop. We're going to come out of Inchon, Korea, um, heading to Kansai. So RKSI to RJBB. That's going to be the flight today. The routing is in the chat room. I apologize again for that poor management of screens there. I totally missed that screen and oh well, shot myself in the foot again. So, but anyway, we survived and we're getting ready to head out on yet another adventure. This is a fun airplane to fly, as is the uh, A320 for flight factor. Um, so I'm actually really enjoying this. It's still a learning curve. That EFB is still, I've got some quirks with it. We'll go quickly over them, but we're going to try and get this bird in the air so we can fly out this about an hour and 45-minute flight. We'll see the discrepancies again as we do the pre-flight. So without further ado, let's get up into the cockpit. And here you're going to see us powered up. I've got us all the way through the cockpit safety check. We've got our squawk code. We've got our frequencies we need to be with that we're going to be on here with POSCON. And so we're getting ready to shove off here as soon as we finish up the checklists. But first, let's do a recap since you all weren't here during that process. It's kind of time consuming. That's one of my peeves with this plane. Beyond that, though, it's beautiful. I figured out my other problem. We'll get that too here real quick. But let's pre-flight here real quick in the office. So we're going to get Sim Toolkit and move that over here right now. And we're going to just basically start off with, well, we've got the nav graph, so you get an idea how we're coming out of Inchon. All right, so let's slide that out of the way. I'll probably end up having to log in when we're ready to do the departure brief, but that's down the road. And again, you can see how we're coming out of here. Interesting side note, filing my flight plan with POSCON, the Alyssa Delta arrival is not acceptable to him. Interesting. It's in sim brief. That sim takes it and all of that was kind of interesting. So I threw it in the remarks if you're on POSCON looking at it. Nothing important, just something to show you. Weather-wise, you can see pretty decent weather. We got no significant, I believe we saw in all the chats. Let me double check. Yeah, no significant here, no significant in Kansai. So that part is pretty simple. Loadout wise, we're looking at 90,890 pounds of three people and 90,200 pounds of cargo uploaded into the plane. So we've got that part taken care of. We're looking at a zero fuel of 286,490 pounds sitting on the ramp with no fuel. Once they finish fueling us, it'll be 3,000 or 31,801. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the ramp weight. House, man, this is starting off great. Um, we're looking at 31,528 pounds. Wow. Cost index 255 for the flight, as you can see on the screen, and you can see our cruise is 35,000. All right, moving on, let's go to, whoop, we were on the load sheet. Let's go to the actual flight plan created back at 1354 Zulu, about, I believe it's 2 hours ago. So we're good with the weather here. Call signs MAC 572, as we usually are with Millennium. Tail number for today, November 148, Fox Echo. It is a 767 300 ERF. It's not a BCF conversion plane. This is an actual freighter. So hopefully my performance information is pretty close. It's set up for a passenger conversion plane. All right, now coming across here, we are looking at a 1540 departure, folks. We're not going to make that. We're going to be maybe as much as 20 minutes late out of here. We'll see how that works out. Air distance 553, average wind 324 at 42. So we got a little bit of a side rear quartering, so hopefully will push us along a little bit at 35,000 feet. For the fuel, here's the breakdown for you. The most important thing to take from here, besides how much we're going to get, is that we need at least 6,413 pounds at our alternate, which is, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it, RJGG. It's Chenny Chuby or something like that. I'm not even going to try it, folks. I can get down here and see, and we'll try it again. But we need to get there 5,700 pounds of fuel. So overall, what we're going to run with here for a reserve is 12.1 when we get to that point in the FMC, which is where we'll be pretty close to starting. All right, sorry for that brief pause, folks. Allergies. Gotta love them, gotta hate them. But anyway, 31,528 is gonna be the fuel is uploaded. Okay, pushing down a little further, we're gonna be going to, this is our alternate. Thought it had the name. Let me see. I can try it from here. Chuby Cinter International, if you say so. Hang on a second. I love when I find typos. There we go. All right, so back to the screen here. There's our flight planned route again. We are taking off runway 33 right. When we get to Kansai, we're coming in on 24 left. Both are close to where we're at, or will be when we get there. So that's why those selections. Coming down a little further, you can see it says an hour and 56 minutes is what it's estimating. We're scheduled at an hour and 45 minutes. Here's our weight breakdown of 3 people cargo, and this is what we have for a payload and 0 fuel. All right, so let's head over to the plane. I do apologize, folks, for the yawns. Mr. Coffee is just not filling the veins up properly today. So let's get up into the cockpit here. And let's get to getting this plane into the air. So I'm just getting something here readied. We'll go ahead and, all right, so we got that up there. We'll get this readied. There we go. And so let's catch up real quick. Step 1 that we got from the Flight Factor 767 checklist version 2.7. Basically, they're saying preliminary aircraft prep, meaning we're going to put the high pressure unit, GPU unit, fuel truck, chocks, gate, if we're at a gate, ASU, doors, I'm sorry, those first items, get those called. So let's see what that means. Found something here I didn't know I had. If I come down to here, go to ground. There they are. High pressure unit, stairs, chocks, LSU. That's your bag loaders. GPU, ground power unit. High pressure unit helps with getting you started on the ground if you need it. Fuel truck, waste unit, pretty well self-explanatory. Wintertime, the de-ice truck in your air conditioning unit here. And loader unit since we're in the cargo plane. Now, before you can physically click load and unload on this screen, you have to go to operations airplane and open up the doors you plan to load. In this case, I just click open all. Opens them all up. Come back to the ground. Load your plane up as close as you can to the zero fuel weight. I don't understand any of that, so it's not making any sense. Um, I'm going to have to find a good tutorial on it. Once you do have this, hit optimize CG. It will try to make this not red. If not, you may have to move things around because I physically don't like what I'm seeing here. I want to load this a certain way and it's not letting me. If you get to a point you've loaded, say you need more fuel, less fuel, you can hit retouch load. The other thing I don't like, and I'll get into that real quick, is how long it takes. I like that the A320, when I get everything set like I want and I hit load or whatever it is, I don't remember right now off the top of my head, it's done. Snap of a finger. Here, you're going to wait a couple minutes. Realism, yes. It's just kind of, so I do a lot of that now off air. Another neat little thing you can do is this that I found yesterday. That was pretty cool. You can turn it so it looks like that, or turn it back, however you want. And you can place it, of course, wherever you want. All right, so we'll, so that's what we did first. We got the doors open, all of that equipment. We put in our stuff. We hit enter on each column, and then loaded the plane. Plane's loaded. So now I've also got I do not have the path set. We'll do the better pushback path when it's time to push. The gate chocks, and they say to remove, we'll remove them here. Well, actually, we'll get rid of the, now we'll just get it when we're ready to push back. Anyway, from there, we went to the safety checks. Safety checks start with parking brake. Make sure it's on first. Then go up to the overhead panel. Your battery switch is right here, folks. Lift the guard, click it, then turn your standby power to auto. You'll see all these nice little switches light up, the Christmas tree as I call it. Come down, check your wiper, make sure it's off. Probably ought to do that first, but anyway. Then come back up, click external power right here. It'll say available if you've already got it hooked up, and then you click it to where it says on. Then bus ties to auto, utility bus to on. Now click here and here for your gen connects. Do not open these and click them. Otherwise you got to click maintenance to get them reset. I did that. Final thing here, emergency lights, click the guard, takes care of getting everything squared away there. It's armed and guarded, as they say. All right, that takes care of the cockpit safety and preliminary aircraft prep, as well as the pre-flight. So let's move in to getting the FMC readied for flight. So to set up the FMC, we're going to set our panel and floodlights first. So that is these two switches. I'm going to bring them up to at least 12 o'clock on well, that one's fine for that. And make sure we have these dialed up. Now the problem is I don't know if they're really dialing up. Also make sure your nav light and logo light are on. Well, the logo you can do with what you want, but the nav light just lets people around the plane know it's energized. Just a kind of a, warning to others. When the beacons come on, the red lights, might be white on some, but anyway, red or white, the aircraft is powering up the engines. So you want to stay clear of the intakes and the exhaust, or the props, whatever the plane is. So position wing lights and logos. You can turn the wing lights on. All they do is just look, bright on the ground. You don't have to, and that's a far right switch that I just clicked on and off. If you're going to actually go out, walk around the plane, turn them all on so they can be checked to make sure they work. However, We're back in the cockpit. The aircraft's been checked. We're ready for flight. So the next step is the IRS alignment. You got left, center, and right. Switch to align, then nav. And I'm just waiting for it to go to align. Okay, there it goes. All right, basically what you've just done here is made sure that everything will work when you're on battery. Okay, so that's set. Now we're going to come back down to where we see the FMCs. Now they're going to be probably buried in the top of my screen. So I'm going to bring them down real quick. Get them lined up. Oop, come on, line up. There you go. There you go. All right, we'll get rid of that one for now. Okay, we're going to work with the captain side. So we're going to click FMC. Now we're on the ident page. Check your model, check your engines. AirNac data should be up to date. Remember, 2 days ago, Thursday, was the AirNac update day for those of you using NavGraph. So, and I see my laptop's giving me fits again, so hang on a second, we're refreshing it. So pardon me if I didn't see anything in the chats. Let me make sure. Okay. Refresh that. Okay, good. All right, so I didn't miss anything. So you just want to make sure the data is good. Go to the position initialization. We are at RKSI. That's your reference airport. Now, GPS position should be correct. You can always look at SkyVector and double check. And I am actually doing that. 37, 26, 20. Okay. Okay. Once you're happy with it, click the GPS. That'll put it down here. Click next to it. That'll put it there. Go to route. Now, I like this. I love this is laziness on my part. Don't have to type it out again. It's right there. Boom. Like it. Next up will be the arrival point. RJBB. All right. And we're just going to put MAC 0572. There. All right. Now I do something, as you all know, a little different than everyone else. Let me just get something on that screen. Just hate it when it doesn't show up right. Okay, I hate the way these look sometimes. Could be just the way the sun is. All right, so we're going to go to the next page. And by doing that, I am going to start typing in our route minus the runways. So, and I'm pulling it up over here, so it's EGOBA. That's our first fix. So that goes to 2. Now, looking at this, let's find out, because they're both pretty plausible. I think that's it. So 37, north 37, 28, 39 to east 127, 23, 76 or thereabouts. So it's going to be the second one. All right. Now, if you'd have put in the arrival, and that would have already been there. Okay. So, oh well, you got me on that one. But anyway, we'll go on. It's Yankee 697. Followed by LAN. LANAT. I like closing them off. I know some of you will just click down. That way I know I'm going to the fix I want. Sometimes it'll really screw you up. Europe is a good place for that. And I don't mean to diss y'all, but man, I did that once and I ended up 100 to 200 miles off course working my way to get back on course. Thankfully, I had the extra fuel to be able to do that. Otherwise, it was a divert, folks. So, something to keep in mind. Okay. And Yankee 361. That's going to Seiki. And on these short flights, I don't mind typing them in. Now, if we go from Kansai to Amsterdam, let's just say, oh yeah, we'll probably have this already in there, and I'll pull it up that way. Because there's going to be about 5, for every mile, there's probably a change in airway and fix. Just kidding. But it seems like it sometimes. So, it's 5,000 miles, by the way, folks. Whoops. Okay. And if I put something in wrong, it'll tell me. I'm not going to because my luck, I'd put something incorrect and really get things screwed up. A.L. Alyssa. Okay. All right. That's our last fix. Now, what we can do is bring up the second one over here. Go to progress. Oh, I say that and I can't. Oh, no, I can't because I haven't activated. Doggone it. Why can't that? Ugh. Okay, so activate, execute. All right, so go next page to route. Now, I like to verify over here and it's not letting me. All right, so that's departure. 33 right. Ego be right there. Execute. Makes them active. Go to the route. Legs. Okay, it looks like no. Okay. And all I'm going to do for the arrival is put in the arrival, not necessarily the runway yet. And execute. Okay, there we go, folks. Will you be nice now? There you are. Here we go. It's showing it again. 7,000 miles. Oh, I wish I knew what causes that, because it shouldn't even be close to that. Okay. All right. Anyway, we're not going to worry about it. Okay, route copy's complete. We'll go to the initialization, which we're still not aligned. Dang it. And hang on a second. Something's not showing right here. We'll wait for it to align before we do anything like that. Okay, we can get through this page. So 0 fuel weight, 272.6. Let's verify that up with the EFB, 272.6. Reserves, we're going to still go with the 12.1. And we're going to go with 35,000. And our cost index one more time, 255. Okay, we just aligned up. You saw that here, how they clicked in. We'll, what was I doing? And we'll put our step climbs at 2,000. Okay, and I put 2,000 feet in there. That's called RVSM. So reduced, I forget what the V, separation uh, measurement, I think is what the M is. Oh, reduced vertical separation measurement. That's 2,000 feet. ICAO is 4,000 feet. Then you have China and Russia, which are flip a coin. It'll be something different tomorrow. Just kidding. But anyway, now let's take a look over here at the progress page. Now everything looks right. I don't get it. Okay, fine. Uncle. Sorry, folks. Just some of the things I kind of giggle at here. All right, coming up to plan. Well, that's not what it was supposed to do. Hang on, did I move the right one or did I move the range? I moved the range. There we go. What I'm going to do is step through it here real quick. We're just going to put it right here. Let's go back to legs. There we go. Don't know why it didn't go to page 1, but it didn't. Okay, so we're centered. Here's the airport. And it's showing us, hang on, let me pull this up a little. I want to check some. Okay, so, all right, so it's going to take us through each of these fixes by clicking step. And all we're making sure is we're not jumping like 10,000 miles or even 100 miles off course. So we're watching it. We're seeing it on here. Actually, I'm going to now move it to 20. There we go. And as you can see, it's not really centered, but it's close. Yeah, it is centered. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong fix. And it just gives you an idea if you're going way out of whack. And there's Kansai. Okay, and then we just move this back to map. Just like that. And which one has traffic on it? Okay, hang on a second. One of these has traffic on it. Oh, you can't get rid of them. Okay. All right. Well, that's the way it's going to be. All right. So we are programmed to the takeoff page. But let's go back, make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay, they're all filled in. They're all filled in. That's in. Let's go to takeoff. All right. We're going to go to the next page first. And I'm going to verify by just looking on Sky Vector that Inchon hasn't changed winds. It's 270 now at 3. So bear with me. Oh, now you're going to stop. There it goes. 273. See how it is? 270 at 3. I'll get it out here eventually. That tree. Don't know how to switch that. We're looking at 1,500 feet. And again, the temperature 13. Okay. Now we'll go next page. Click CG. And let me see how that works up to this one. Again, we're a little lighter. We're what did I say, 282? I can check that here real quick. 272, so we're, let's bring that down. 3. And up to, we'll go 9 to that one, and, oop, wrong one. 5, 9, that'll work. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm making my ACARS program that I run with professional flight program match up. See what happens. 3-3 right, we're on a dry runway. Okay, air conditioning's on. We won't need that. Do a weather update. 270, it's 13. Hit the ACARS button for our takeoff information. All right, there we go. It's a little different than what I've got programmed. So, takeoff. CG is probably could be I didn't even look, to be totally honest. So we're looking at flaps 5 and a 50 here. Okay, there's our reference speeds. We came up with 270, 134, 142, and 149 came back from ACARS. 134, they're not really close. So we'll go with 134. We'll put in there. 142 will go in here, and 149 in here. Again, that's working off 50 for our thrust temperature. Oh, we're at 15. I'm sorry. Good Lord. I'm going to have that erased. Yep. All right. I got it set wrong. 5. Okay, let's do that again. My bad. Sorry, folks. Helps to put the right things in. It's getting a lot closer, though, if you notice. 134, 141. We'll deal with that's good. 150. That's good. All right. Much better. Much better. All right. So there you go, folks. We have now programmed the FMC, and I do apologize that takes so long. But we are 38 minutes in, and we're just about ready to wrap up the pre-flighting and get the bird out of here. And yes, we're way late. Hang on. Oh, and I do need to get my altimeter setting. Duh. 1019. Okay, that's good. And for those of you curious, we're using the HEPA side. I think I said that wrong. And we have 3 of these to update. Okay, there we go. All right, so that, folks, brings us up to the top page. Now, the guy that made this checklist has all of this part of the checklist where you set the MCP before taxi. I do it now. When I'm pushed back, I'm released, I want to go now. So, to that end, we're going to do that part of the checklist right now, then finish things up. Close, close. Let me just look at what they trimmed us out at. Oh, we're a lot closer to that 19. Cool. All right, and updating one last time. Just getting our numbers up here so I can see. And just so you're all aware, we should have 5,000 feet of runway if everything works the way it's supposed to here in the flight sim. We'll see. All right, so we need to set our airspeed to 10 above, so 160. Runway is 333, 333. And for now, we're going to top it out at 35,000. There may be intermediates. We'll worry about that. I think that's why he might wait, so you can do your departure brief and get those correct. Okay, and then we're going to also pop the flight directors on. Okay, there they all are. And why aren't we getting everything over here like we did over there? Oh well. Let's see. MCP got the headings, got the trim. We'll set that in once we're started. The flaps, the EFIS 220, and the weather and the rate. Okay, so we'll get all of that part then. All right, so that, folks, is the FMC and the MCP setup. Now we're going to move on to finalizing the cockpit. What I'm going to start with is getting the aircraft started to close up. So airplane, we'll get our cargo. Wait, ground. Let's get rid of the fuel truck, loader, LSUs. And then go here. Okay, there. That leaves the stair truck, the chocks, and the GPU on for now. Okay? So, and we'll take a look outside so you can all see that. Boom. There's the chocks you can see in, kind of weird looking. Air stair is still there. GPU is still hooked up by SETA cord. There it is. There you go, folks. We'll just do this. I'm curious where this one takes us. Oh, nice shot. Okay. And let's hop back up. Okay, so let's get going here. So we're going to go up top. Yaw dampers turned on. That's right under the IRSs. And we're going to basically work down this panel, this one, and then this one. Clear as mud. So next will be the electric engine controls. Right here, make sure they're in norm and guarded. Fuel pumps, hydraulic pumps. C1, C2, that's the center ones, that's the electrics, on. The rest remain off till the engines come on. We'll get the demands on now. And you can also, by the way, see that we're clearing things up here on our panel. Okay, that takes care of this one. We're coming down this one now. So, well, actually, they kind of skip over it. We've already done a lot of it. Normally, you test. Does not look like it has a test. And okay, so now we make sure our cargo heats are on. So any snakes we're carrying can stay warm because you know you have snakes on planes all the time, according to that movie. Okay, engine starts to both. Today is an even day. We're actually going to use 2. We moved the actual starters to auto. Fuel pumps on. Keep coming down. Anti-ice is going to stay off. Wipers are off. We have the position lights on. If you want to click the wing lights on now, you're fine. It's up to you, Captain. You're the captain. You make the call. Window heats on. They actually should be on in the beginning, in my opinion. Don't know. Passenger signs coming on. All right, now we need to set this. And again, I'm going to kind of zoom in. I've set it to auto 2 or auto 1. Again, odd days, I go with the odd number. Even days, I go with the even number. 1, 2. Nice, easy system for this dumb old truck driver to learn. Okay, Let me pull up the altitude here for Kansai is 17. Altitude here is 23. So we're going to roll this way down. Okay, and we're in auto and it's setting itself up. Okay, back out and back to the checklist. Okay. Cabin altitude, set landing altitude, and it's at auto 2. Equipment cooling is at normal. And cab chart dome lights, however you want them, folks. Actually don't know what they control yet, but we'll learn. Forward, mid, and aft cabin, I set them to 12 o'clock. All right, trim air on, recircs on. PAX, I'm going to go ahead and turn on for now, even though we're not hooked up yet. And that, folks, cabin temps are to auto. That's this one. It will help to not let that sound come on and blow your eardrums out like it did mine, or tried to yesterday. And that, folks, is the cockpit preparation. All right, next up is the APU start. Left, center, right pumps, as you have fuel in them, turn them on. Anti-collision, no. APU start. And then you come down to 2, and you can see it beginning to start up. Once it gets past about 20 or 30, I'll go up and okay, we'll go on up. It should be firing now. And I just like to make sure it continues to power up. Okay, once it is powered up, we'll turn the generator on, we'll turn the bleed on, and we'll turn the isolation valve on. And then we can turn off the external power. Folks, we're just about ready to push back. So now is a good time to grab a quick break. It's going to take about another 5 minutes, and then we'll be pushing back and getting ready to take off. Runways right up the alley. Okay, we are showing 100%. All right, real quick, we go to, again, it's turn the bleed on. Okay. Make sure the isolation valves are on. There it is. Why are you so loud? I told you not to do this yesterday. That must be on my end. Okay. Hopefully it's not too loud for you all. If it is, let me know. We'll get her turned either off or, set properly. And then we can close the isolation. Oh, my bad. There we go. And now we need to turn on the gen. So far, so good. Yesterday, I lost everything. Good deal. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, so back to here. Put you on climb. And folks, like I said, now is the time. We're getting ready to come off everything to push back. So if you need to use the restrooms, get some coffee and all, this is the time to do it. Because all I'm going to be doing is calling for our pushback. All right, so that's the APU start, cockpit prep, FMC setup, safety check, and preliminary prep for the aircraft, folks. And while we're waiting, let's take a look, because it's time to close the door. kind of watch the effect. You can see the door closing. And for those of you out in aircraft firefighting who aren't familiar with 767s, you all notice something. What you're used to seeing in a door either swinging towards you or pushing out and over, this one pushes in and up. All of them on a passenger version do that, folks, of the 767. So be ready for that. Always, of course, be ready for the slide to come at you. They probably are armed. Finally, let's get rid of the stair truck. Up, up, up. Close that. And the GPU. They just basically disappear. So all we got left is the chocks, which that's good. We're good to go. We're going to ground equipment, remove all. Doors are closed, left in packs. They're going to stay on until we're ready to start. And we're going to go to the pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Okay. Yesterday, yeah, that was fun. Not a lot of room to push back, but we put it right on the, what we thought was we'd be far enough away from the edge of the road. Oh no, it put us in the grass. So, click and...
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, so the tow is on its way. So we've got 8 cars running. Verifying one more time, we're parked, okay. Verifying that, okay. So there's our tug pulling in. We're going to go ahead and remove those chocks. Even though they'll remove when the pushback goes in. We're going to go ahead and turn on the red anti-collision. And let's go ahead and turn our packs off.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Okay, and we are, folks, ready to push back. All we got to do is release that parking brake. Engine starts pretty simple. We just turn the start selectors to ground. At 20%, move the fuel control switch from cutoff to run. And then repeat it for the other engine. And we're going to start 1, then 2. While we're here and waiting, let's get our squawk in here, which came in as 4, 3.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Not yet. 4, 3, 3, 6. Making sure I typed that right. 4, 3, 3, 6. Now we'll go to TA. Okay, folks, we are now ready to push back.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Give you a little view of it, and then we'll get in and start up some engines. One thing, I watched one stream of this early in the week. I don't know how to bind what they're saying to the wing views so I can get both front and back leading edges. I've got to learn that. I think it's got to be X camera loaded, but I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and start up. So we're going to go top. Well, actually, let's do it from here. So we're going to look up at the top panel. Our packs are off. Engine start switches are here. And like I said, we're going to start number 1 first. Go to ground. So down on the mouse. Come down. And then when you get to the red line, that's 20. There's 20 on the numbers. Go to run. And she's going to light off. You can see the EGT, which is right above that at climbing up. Same with the N1. Oil pressures and all are climbing as well. Temperatures, so we're doing good. The vibes are good. That flashy you just saw was the generator kicking in for number 1. That's what did not happen up in Tulsa yesterday because the loose nut behind the wheel disconnected the generators. Yeah, not a smart move. So that's what took so long in helping us get out very late. And by the way, folks, we're almost a half hour late, so I do apologize for that. But that
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
okay, coming down, setting the parking brake. There we go.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Get number 2 turning. You can see the gens are on. You don't have the off button and it's moved over. Okay, there we go to there. Back down. And again, we're just waiting to hit that red line. Let me slide up a little so you can see more. Okay, we're at 21. Boom. And then the red line disappears. It fires up real quick. Oil pressure's up. Oil temps will come up, as will the, well, the quantities won't move, and the vibes are coming up. So the engine's on. And the gen just came on for that. And we just wait for them to spool up. Folks,
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
So we'll just wait for the hand signal before we go through the after start checks. Because I don't want to turn the hydraulics on the engines till I see him. There's the tug. And there's the guy showing us the pin. Perfect. All right, so we'll just give them a quick flash here that we saw it. Now, again, the Gen Connect is showing on, which is good. So we just click the left and right engine pumps to on. Make sure all of our demands are on. Anti-ice, if we need it, will turn on. Left and right engine bleeds will turn on. That's weird. Oh, bleed valves. Now they're turned on. Go this way now. Okay. Left and right pack to auto. APU bleed off. And looks like APU goes off, as does the generator. And there, folks, is the after start checklist. Before taxi checklist. All right, so we're going to come down to here. Now remember, I told you it tells us to do a lot of the MCP. We'll check them, but they'll be set already. The big things here is we got to set the auto brakes, which is right here, to RTO. I turned this on to give me this quick information right here. Altimeters set, and we're going to double check that the QNH again has not changed. And 1019, the winds did again. And we're 1019, so that's good. All right. Altimeters are set. Left and right are on. Did I turn those on? think I do that. No, I don't. Okay. Oh, up top. They're on auto. My bad. Auto and auto. Ugh, I'm getting caught up. Sorry, folks. Got a lot of planes blurring through my head. Flight directors are confirmed on. We have TOTOFD. TOTOFD. MCP got 160 set. Runway heading is set for the heading of 333, and our altitude is 35,000. State trim, need to set that. We'll go to this one. Makes it a little easier to zoom in. And ooh, hang on, you know what? No, it doesn't make it easier because I need to know. Oh, I did not want to do that. Clear. Doink. 3.8. Okay. Yes. Okay. Just got to interpolate. We'll put it about right there. Okay. And flaps. Bring those down to 5. Make sure they set to 5. Speed brake. Down. EFIS control set 200 for decision altitude. Range 20. We're on map, and terrain, weather, and weather radars are off. We're going to set our radar to weather. Flight controls. Okay, what I do is I click status. Now this brings up a whole bunch. You can see the APU shutdown, brakes, your cargo heats and temperatures. I've got this thing set up to show a lot of information. So what we're going to do is just go left, right, left, right. Okay, up, down, and then left and right with the rudder pedals. Okay, and then we can flip that back. Parking brake off. Well, first thing we're going to do, signal. Make sure the parking brake's off. It should be. And there we go, folks. All right, this is the part I hate. Okay, so we're taxiing. I've got the radios set up. MACAIR 572 taxiing to runway 33 right at Inchon. Checking the brakes. Okay, and as you can see on my nav display, folks, you've got the departure right in front of you. So we are taxiing out. Departure is going to be the, hang on a second, Ego B1L to and climbing to 35,000 feet. Okay. Keep our ground speed under control while we're in here. We're going to go ahead and look outside the airplane. I decided to turn on the ground traffic here. I guess just to basically liven it up. They're not active as far as I understand it. They may be, I don't know. But The 767s that you see here, I believe, are part of the package. I don't know if they came with the package that I downloaded for liveries or if they're part of the live traffic, but I do have that active as well. Usually does not show traffic on the ground. It only shows it once it's taxiing. But if they turn their instruments on, it will show. Okay, so we got that set up. Okay, real quick, let me walk you through this. We're going to do a quick departure brief and then get on the road here. So there's Sim Toolkit. You see the departure before you. It's basically the procedure spells out SI 707 to 713 to Ranos to SOS 1 kilos, SI 741, 742, 743 Egoba. So basically we're going to fly out and kind of circle around the airport and head over to Egoba. Initial climb is not showing here, as you can see right here. So we're going to continue our climb out. RNAV is required, or GNS DME. ATS surveillance, well, we don't have ATS. And that, folks, is our departure. Real quick though, transition level is 14,000 feet. Let me make sure I have that plugged into the box. Pretty sure I don't. Oh, I do. Good. And while we're at it, we're going to go to the descent page because I'm going to pull up our V speeds again. Let me read them right from the box. So let me get rid of Sim Toolkit here. Okay, from the box, we've got 134 for V1, 141 for rotate, 150 for V2, trim set 3.8. We'll be taking off with a D rate of 50 degrees Celsius on a TO departure. What I'm going to look up now is this. 14,000 as well. Okay, cool. All right, let me show you what I was working on. What I'm working on is getting the transition level set for the arrival. So you go to the descent page, click descent, click forecast, and it should say 14,000. If not, you make it say 14. Type in 140. If it's, say, 9,000, like Europe loves 9, 6, 7, 8, 4, whatever, 090. That's primarily for those of us in the US that are used to that. Okay, we'll go to the climb page. We're set for 240 to 10,000 feet. Then we'll speed up to 323 and it'll switch into 0.84 as we're going. Okay, and that's all by the design here of the CI. And that, folks, is our departure brief. Checking everything that we're set to go. Now that we're out at the runway, we're going to go ahead, turn on terrain here, weather here, auto weather, terrain set. Okay. And finally, parking brake. Well, we've got that on. Speed brakes are off. Runway lights, nose gear light, AT is on. Auto throttle, nav, and VNAV armed. Transponder is going to TARA. Now, those of you that were with us yesterday out of Tulsa, this is where I needed to set my ILS. It only becomes available when you get close. So I found that out on a subsequent flight with a friend last night. All right, so we are ready to depart. Takeoff, parking brake off, will advance to 70, engage toga. This is your toga button right here. one of these screws. I had a tip that sets things. Oh, we got weather, folks. Look at that. Nice. All right, so let's go to this. Let's go to that. And here we go, folks. Inchon traffic, MACAIR 572, departing runway 33 right. Parking brake off. Here we go. Let's get the strobes on. We leave the lights off until we're ready to go. So we're cleared for takeoff. Now, most cargo aircraft, you'll notice, stop, throttle up, then go. That's to get maximum performance out of the plane, because usually there's a good chance they're pretty heavy. Okay. And kind of get a look-see out this window. I'm going to try and get as much of this runway as possible. Okay, so we're on the runway, landing lights on, we're cleared for takeoff. Okay, transponder TARA, let's get that up. Again, let's try it this way. Okay, so it's that one. Here we go, folks. Once we're stable, brakes release. Toga is this one.
V1, rotate, V2.
Gear up.
Okay, so it's saying we got 11.9. We put in 12.1. So we'll kind of watch that. Should come down as we get up to cruise. First flaps up. Okay. All right, so we're through 4,000. Let us do... Okay. Watching the flaps. Flaps are up. Auto brake off. Gear off. And we're about to hit our first fix. Get a nice view of her turning out of here. And then we'll get back into it. Let's see if we can see the airport. Oh, yeah. Taking some screenshots here, folks. Don't mind me. Now, if you noticed, I haven't gone up to turn off all the lights, or at least take the taxi lights. Folks, I had a real airline guy tell me on one of the streams. So he claims that once they're in the gear wells, there's a little switch in there to turn a micro switch that turns them off automatically. So once we hit 10,000, we can just start turning switches. All right, so let's see where we're at. Coming up on 8,700 feet. Let's get ourselves ready for the turn. Try to keep my heading close to what our heading will be on the rollout. We're at 9,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn those lights off. Okay. There's 10,000
feet.
Yeah, thank you. He just told us. Now, transition, he won't. He'll tell us 18. He's set for that one. Let me try something here. Let's give it a try here. We should be approaching 14 right now. Okay, so tips. Toga's here because it's also, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. Let's try looking down this way. Doubt you'll know too bad. Anyway, Toga's actually right back behind the throttles, I believe. At least that's where they are on most of the Boeings. You disengage there. But you push right here. That'll push it to Toga. To set your, so that when you look over here, it'll say 1012. You click, let me get back over. This screw right here, you see the arrow, that's just basically telling you that's over there. Pretty cool. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and turn on some music while we get going here. Let me just do one thing. After takeoff, landing gears up, flaps are up. All right, so we're set and on our way, folks. Hope you enjoy the ride. That was not what I was looking for, folks. And we got the airport in the distance. All right, so let me do this. Here comes the music. Those of you enjoying Cross the Pond, I hope it's a good event for you. I stopped flying that a long time ago. Hopefully they have better control of it so that people aren't yakking on the open ATC channels, or the controllers aren't paying attention to text. I know there's a whole new way to cross the pond with different programs I've read out there now, but they really, it really was horrible about 5, 6, 7 years ago. Same volume, only a half a dozen controllers, and I didn't get a position report in the whole way across the Atlantic because there's too much yakking, too much not paying attention. So hopefully they've reined that in and y'all are having a great time. But we're on POSCON. It has nothing to do with, mainly because of that volume, I wanted to be on POSCON so it wouldn't kick me off. That was the other problem they have, is servers love to boot you if you're not on it. That kind of upset me too. Had some pilots with a VA I ran saying, man, it was booting us off left and right. So I pretty much, that was the last time I ever flew it. So I know it may seem childish to some of you, but you know, we're all out here to have fun. We're not out here to be delayed. We're not out here to be told you can sit and wait for 45 minutes like I'm allowed to with you on clearance. Stuff like that the controllers pull. Not all of them. It's the bad apples, I know, but that's why me and VATSIM still butt heads because of people like them. So I just choose, I'm out here to have fun too. So that's why I chose to go to POSCON today. Just to stay away from that mess called VATSIM today. So, but I hope you all are having a great Saturday. Hope your weekend's going well. It's been raining here. It looks like maybe it let up. I don't know. Hard to tell out the window here. But hope y'all enjoy crossing the pond. I'm crossing over to Japan. So y'all have a great day. We'll be chatting at you in about 200 or so miles. Okay, folks, we've been contacted by POSCON to reach out to them on 126, 175 Inchon control, and that's what we're going to be doing. That's why the music was turned down. So, here we go. Inchon control, MACAIR 572 with you. Flight level 350. And Inchon control, MACAIR 572 with you, flight level 350. That's kind of funny, they're not showing up on the map. Well, I just got gigged probably, but oh well. If you're listening to Flying with Mike, you know I was on a break. Anyway. Anyway, folks, we'll let you get back to the music. If they chime in, we'll let you know. Kind of a pain because now I got to reset my radio. 122.95 again. Oh well. Okay, so top of descent is showing up on here. All right, so we're now 300 miles out. Let's go ahead. First off, let me prevent us from ghosting. Okay, hopefully. We're going to go into the arrival brief since we're here. Let me pull back the music. Oh, it's going to do it on its own here. All right. So let's bring Sim Toolkit back into the fray. And take a look at this arrival here. I'm also going to try something here, see if we can't... wrong one. Let's make some... Oh, that's why. Size it up here a little better. There we go. Alright. Alright, so I sized it up a little better for y'all to see. What we're going to be doing here is kind of a side-by-side here. So, we're going to switch into legs. And let's get Sim Toolkit. Where are you? Okay, so you're going to see we come into Alyssa. This is not up here yet. Alyssa, then Tanta. Hang on. This is just not working out the greatest for me. Here we go. There we go. All right, so we go Alyssa, then Tanta, then Nail Toe. Now, Nail Toe, as I zoom it in a little here, is 6,000 feet or above, at or above 6,000 feet. Next page, Asami Bagel Toma. So we'll go Asami Bagel Toma, no restrictions, until we get to Maya, which is a 4,000 foot restriction. Now they don't throw a speed on it. I'm thinking about putting us at about 210. Just so we're slowing up. Okay. And then from Maya, we then fly the out to BB 451 and then around onto the ILS into runway 24 right. Okay, so there you go, folks, and that kind of verifies everything up here with what we're showing. Let's go back to progress, and let me kind of get things in a better way to do this here on. Okay. Okay, so let's bring it back out. All right, so Sim Toolkit. The first off, across the top, ATIS is 127.85, airport 17 feet, transition 14,000. All of that's set in the box. So again, it's Alyssa, Tanta. Oh, wait a minute, which one are we on here? Wrong one. There we go. Okay, so it's Alyssa, Tanta, Nail Toe, again at or above 6,000. Asami, Bagel, Tomo, Hammer, Maya. Maya is at 4,000. And we're also going to go ahead and throw in being at 210. Okay, so here's our descriptions again. Here we are, from Alyssa to Tanta to Nail to at or above 6,000. Asami, Bagel, Toma to Hammer, Maya at 4,000. Okay. Nothing else we need to know from this chart. Now, once we're over at Maya, we then transition on to the ILS Zulu for 24 right. Frequencies across the top, but what we're worried about is the ILS 108.5. Approach course 238. Now at Blonde, which is roughly 5 miles from the runway, at 1,600 feet or on the glide path. Okay, folks, that's how that works. Otherwise, you missed approach at that point. The DA for this approach is 223, 200 feet above ground level. 17 feet is the airport elevation. Now, as you can see, there's the missed approach. In the words, it's turn right, climb to 3,000 feet on the outbound radial for the Kansai VOR, and that's identified 111.8. Out on the 283 to Lilac. There we'll hold contact approach. They'll tell us where to go. And I'm going to leave it at that because there's so many ways that whole thing could take, and I'll let your dirty minds go from there. So, again, transition levels are 14,000 feet. VOR DME is required. Initial approach segment. RNAV V1, that's this part right to here, and then we're on the normal way. Okay, so let's get down here. Minimums. We need at least an RVR of 550. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, 550 meters. Okay, there's your 223 for the ILS. 290 if we only have the localizer. Now we're expecting high ALS. And again, picturally, this is how we go out to Lilac on a missed approach. Again, Maya, the BB, this kind of shows us circling back around. You saw that it's kind of like an enlarged arc to get in. We're going to get to 2,000 by, well, we're going to be coming around and we'll get in here, hit Blonde at 1,600 and come on in. All right, folks, there's our arrival brief. Again, remember, localizer is 108.5. I've got that written down. Heading 238. And that, folks, is going to wrap up our arrival brief. It's a little earlier than I had hoped for. Try to do these at about 80 miles out. We've already got we'll set the initial page up and we'll verify frequencies and all of that at that point. But anyway, let me slide this a little bit out. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. And let's bring the sim itself back on. Take a look at where we stand at top of descent, 100 miles. So, you know, we're not that far off, because now we're going to actually do what we need to do to get this thing ready. First thing I want to do is let's go revisit ACARS, updating the weather for both. We're not taking off on the 15s. Okay, we're not coming in on the 6s. Going too far right. We gotta. You know what I'm going to do here, folks? Let's get just to make sure nothing's drastically changed. RJBB. Variable. Okay, yeah, we're just going to stick with our arrival, even though it's a little longer than we'd like. Okay, we've got all of that updated, correct. All right, so we got a dry runway, flaps 30, no need for anti-ice, temperature 16 degrees, making sure we match up. Yep. And auto brakes required and everything. All right, 24 right. So we go to ACARS, landing data. Okay, we'll be doing a flaps 30 approach on manual, which that's fine. Looking like, well, you know what we're going to do instead of looking like? Let's go to the initial page. We're at 291, 288. We'll kind of verify. We're showing 137. I'm going to go with that one. Plug it in. 108.5. 108.5 and 238. Okay, so those frequencies are correct. I don't think they're available yet for us to do anything down here. Nope. Okay. Next up on the checklist, enter speeds, auto brake as required. We're going to go with a 2. Let me, yeah, 2 I believe is what we need. Yeah, we're going to go with 2. And we're going to shoot coming off taxiway Bravo 9, Bravo 10. That's our goal. And then we head over to the FedEx parking, and I don't know if it's going to show up here or not. It does not, but I do know there is a chart. There used to be a chart. Okay, I lied. No longer a chart. Not a big deal. Basically, where we park is kind of in the middle. Yep, they don't cover it anymore. Okay, so we'll be parking somewhere in either 251 through 257. We'll see what FedEx tells us when we get on the ground. All right, so there you go, folks. We're set up there. We're set there. The ILS will be set, should be available here shortly. See where we stand. 60 miles out. And then to initiate the initial descent will be set into the MCP here shortly. I like waiting till we get under 40. There you go, folks. There is our initial top of descent, 80 miles out checklist. Enough time for one more song. Alright folks, we're back with you. We're inside 40 miles, so let's get into the cockpit here and take a look at a couple of things. We're 25 miles out, so let's set 6,000 here on the box on the MCP. Oh, it takes so forever. Oops, went past it. Makes it longer when you're like me and go right by it. Okay, so we're set for 6,000. Now, to initiate the descent, we'll go over there. Okay, so we're at 290. I'm going to run the ACARS report one more time once we get in a little closer. We're showing 288. Let's take a look at it. 138, good. All right, so what we'll do is go over to the descent page. 17 miles out. Kind of wish it would show it here, but it does show it here now. 16. So let's go to descent and let's call for it. Descent direct. No. And that should put us in a descent. I'm going to pull back on my throttles just a hair. Got 149 miles to the end of descent. Now it's going to descend at Mach 82 until 309 knots. At that point it'll switch over to the speed IAS and take that down. And you can see our charting here. This is terrain radar. This one is set up for weather radar. And looking at Sim Toolkit, we got to sign in again, so hang on a second. There we go. Okay, so slide that out. We should, well, we've got some returns in the area. But last METAR said no significant weather, no clouds reported, no, really nothing. So that was 35 minutes ago. Okay, so we are now in the descent. So once we cross 14,000, we'll set our altimeters again the same way we did coming in. What I am going to do though is kind of get them set up for the arrival. 20 and 20. Oh, excuse me. Okay, pretty much direct, Lissa. Got one fix in front of us, Seiki, but for the most part, we're direct. Everything panning out just well. We've been streaming now, if you're all curious, for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Been in the air much less than that, probably about an hour. So we'll be on the ground though here in about anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, and hopefully within the next 45 minutes we should be off the stream. So folks, we'll see you a little closer in.
18,000 feet.
All right, folks, we're back with you here and Flying with Mike. We just rounded the bend, headed to Tanta, then nail toe, and again, nail toe is at 6,000, and we can make this a little easier on us by doing data, and that'll show up any restrictions we have. Yeah, 6,000 or above at nail toe. All right, so let's bring this back into view here as we cross through some of the clouds around here. One thing I did not go over in the pre-brief that I noticed reading through the weather before starting out on this trip. Here we are over Tonto making the turn. There was a SEGEMENT out for here. It's one that most people might have missed. So hang on, let me get the exterior. I'm going to bring Sim Toolkit up real quick here. Actually, let's go to that view. All right, let's get Sim Toolkit here real briefly. Okay, so there it is. Oh, no, there it is not. Hang on, gotta move it over. Boom. Okay. On Sim Toolkit, when you look at the OFP here, the flight plan, boom, there it is. Let's scroll down. Now, once you get past the weights, you get into the fixes and all of the information related. Let's get down into the weather. Here's your wind. Here's the actual flight plan that goes out to ATC. Here's where I want us to be, though. The weather section starts off with any pertinent, significant airmet, SIGs, all of that right at the top. Tropical cyclones. There is one nearby. But look at this next one, volcanic ash. Now I guess Fuguyoko erupted. I don't know. That's what I'm reading here. So we're having some kind of an eruption with that, possibly with that volcano, and there's ash. So you got to kind of watch this section here, folks. Then your departure arrival information comes in below. But these two, tropical cyclones, Tropical Cyclone Surga is coming in. I can't tell if that's affecting this weather or not. Tropical Center is located here. And then this gives you the ash segments that are in play for the country of Japan. Anyway, I wanted to point you there. So when you're flying like Japan, even parts of the southern part of Europe, pushing over, you know, be watching because there are active volcanoes, Iceland and Alaska. This will be in all of those. Maybe not tropical cyclones in Alaska, but boy, they sure get close to the intensity. But anyway, you can see where we are on the map here. We're getting ready to go over. We just did Nalto going to Sami, and there's our route up. So let's, so I don't forget, get back into normal view. And, oh, I went too far with that on my end. There we go. All right, so there we go, folks. And I'm pulling up, now, another source for this would be SkyVector. And I am not seeing, looks like the eruption appears to be down around the southern part. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, there's an, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense now. There's Fukuoka. I don't know how to, airport. Kagoshima. And yes, folks, you're allowed to laugh. Kanoya. And so forth. So it's down in the southern part. So we may actually be experiencing it. And then the other one, also, oh, there it is, Sakurajima is the mountain that I guess erupted. So, and it looks like the plume is going away from there. So, and then I don't see the tropical storm one. But anyway, there you go, folks. We're slowed to 240 below 10,000. That means I got some work to do. Let's get you back to 12. No, what is our 16? As we make the final turn. And I want to make sure our speed brake is down. And it is. Okay, we're headed to Hammer. And then over to Maya, and then we should be active on it. That's actually a pretty good prediction over there. Not bad. Okay. Okay, I believe I got the right information in. 1085, 238. Okay. 1085, 238. We have the ILS available. We are now turning direct Maya. Alright, so once we start turning inbound, we can begin hitting the localizer. Let's go down to 4,000. Okay, and we need to get our lights on. And there'll be a decel here coming up here momentarily to get us down to 210, because that's what I've got us set for. And I like us slowed so that way we can start getting some of the energy out of this plane. Good morning, the Journeyin. How are you? It has been a while. Welcome, J Drums. Welcome to you as well. We're about 2 minutes out. Let me just make sure I didn't forget anything here. All right, so we should be rounding the bend here. And in the distance there, you can see the airfield. All right, we should be getting slowed here to 210 momentarily. As we are reaching 4,000 feet. But welcome to you both. Mr. Drums, you ought to be up here flying. We're flying in some volcanic ash. Okay, there we go. We got to slow down to 210. All right, so now we'll set down to 1,600 feet. Per the arrival. Yep, 1,600. Let's make sure we start our descent. There it goes. Let's go ahead and put a notch of flaps in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. One last run with the speed brake here to help get us slowed. Okay, we're going to go to flaps 5. Okay, let me swing the needles around. Go flaps 10. And way out in the distance is where we're headed. Alright, we should be about ready to swing around any time now. There we go. We're slowed to 180. Okay, there goes the turn. Localizers armed. I knew as we came around the glide slope would shoot up. Okay. There we go, folks. We're lining up. What are we? About 10 miles when we come around. Let's see what the chart says. Well, we'll be about 10 miles. We're going to go ahead and fully arm up.
2,500.
Okay. Okay, localizers grabbed. And let me check down here. We're going to actually follow procedures. Kansai traffic. MACAIR 572, 10-mile final, runway 24 right, fully established. Okay, so what we're going to do is wait for the glide slope to get close to the line, then we'll lower the gear. There's 1,600 feet. We just need to take 1,600 feet to blonde. By then we should be on the glide slope and we'll have the gear out If not, we'll disengage. There comes the gear. And glide slope coming up. Gear down.
Gear down.
A little overkill on the vapor effect. And let's slow it up to 145.
$1,000. $1,000.
Okay, got the runway in sight. I'm taking the plane. Flaps full, gear down, auto brake set, spoilers armed. Hopefully this time.
500. 500. 400.
I think we have slight tailwind now.
300.
Missed approach altitude set.
Minimums.
Landing.
200.
Little high.
100. 100. 50. 50. 40. 30. 20. 20. 10. 10.
And welcome to Kansai. Alright, so let's get across the hold line. I did not catch which one we came off at. Okay, so we're clear. Okay, speed brakes down. Flaps coming up, disarm. Okay, so after landing, we want the autopilot disengage. Autopilot's off, left and right directors are off. And speed brakes and all are down. Let's get that APU cranking up. Alright, so we want APU bleed. Let's just do it from up here. There. Start. Taxi lights on, strobes off. And transponder to standby. Kansai traffic, MACAIR 572, clear the runway. Alright, so see what the gen's up to, what the APU's at. Alright, so we're going to release the brakes and turn off that terrain radar. I think the weather radar is on too. It is. Here we go. Alright folks, so again, welcome into Kansai. Right there is where we're going, folks. That's FedEx right to our right. This is their Far East hub now. It used to be at Clark, I believe it was, or Subic Bay, one of the two in the Philippines. Until the U.S. was pretty much booted out, and now it's here in Japan. But anyway, just to give you an idea, there is the FedEx complex. There's an errant DC-10 in there. That's okay. We'll park in there somewhere next to it. But we'll take the 130 feet a minute landing. And hope you all enjoyed. It's not really foggy here. I think that's that ash, Journeyman, that is being reported. There was a volcanic eruption south of here. I tried to pronounce it. Don't even get me trying again. I gave up on it. So that may be ash in the area. I won't go that far, J-Drums, about DC-10s, but they're sure better than trash 11s and trash 80s. Alright, and I'll pull up the map again and we'll see what the SEGEMENT's saying. And you guys can do that if you'd like. All you got to do is go to Sky Vector, go to Japan, look towards the southern part of the main island. You'll see the SEGEMENT that's out. There's also a tropical system in the area as well. So I don't know if the two are mixing down south or what. I didn't get a chance to take a look at the map and see how that all looks out, you know, with the tropical system. But those are two FedEx spots there, as well as all of these. Then the main cargo area is down here to the south. Or I guess that would be to the east. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, everything looks good there. Let's get ready with checklists to shut down. Let's see. What spot do I want? I think we'll take 253. We'll treat that DC-10 as an MD-10, since that's pretty much what FedEx runs with. And all the MD-10 is just a modification that ousted a job in the cockpit from the flight engineer. They no longer existed, and it was all put up to the pilots. Okay, Just getting the lights off so we don't blind the marshaller too badly. And I'm going to hold back. You'll see why here in a second. And I'm off the line a little. Okay, parking brake set. All right, so parking brake set, engine selectors up top to off. Okay. Fuel controls. Cut off. Can I see them? Oh, yes, I can. Make sure I did something here, and I did not. Shame on me. Almost screwed up. All right. Now we can shut down. Okay, fuel pumps off. Okay, we're on the generators. We can turn the beacon off. Okay, so now here's where we go to the exterior, and let me pull up the EFB. Okay, let's open well, let's first go to Ops, and let's get the chocks in. Okay, and we'll go to Ops, to Airplane. Let's open them all up. Let you get a clean look at everything opening up. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't ever show any cargo inside. I don't know, I'm sure that's just the way it is. But there we go. Let's go back to ground. We're going to start unloading. Back to the cockpit. Doors, cargo, plane, unload. IRS is off. We'll go ahead and do that. Cargo heat. Yep, we need to turn that off. Signs are off. Cabin, main, APU. We're going to leave the rest of that on for now. And folks, we have arrived into Kansai. We thank you for joining us. Even if it was for just a brief moment, don't shut down, fly your next leg. My next leg is not going to be today, Mr. Drums. We are going to enjoy the rest of the day without flying. We're going to got some things to do with the wife. So we are not flying another leg. So the journey in, thank you for joining us. We thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a while, but always great to see you here. Folks, we're going to wrap it up. Let's bring the music in. And what I'm going to do, first off, I'm just going to go ahead and log out.
Gear up.
Let's do a replay of the approach.
2,500.
Gear down.
One thousand. $500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Let's get another angle, shall we? One more. All right, folks, there you go. All right, so little feature I'm trying to do now, we kind of run the replay. But folks, we do thank you for flying with Mike. Hope you enjoyed the presentation, and we'll be back at it again on Monday. So for now, y'all have a great day, and I'm going to get that EFB back up here for a second. Forgot some things. That and that. Y'all have a great rest of your Saturday.